Hey YouTube world, my name is Mary Lumley, and I'd like to share my story to help people that are struggling with drug addiction, physical and mental abuse. Uh, and I'm gonna start out with my younger days to start fresh on my journey of life of recovering from physical and mental abuse. Uh, One of my first memories was when I was 5 years old, and I played at the Cheese Water Park, and I played with my Shira toys and my Rainbow Bright dolls. My mom is Cynthia and Billy Rye, and they divorced when I was 5 years old. Um, my mom met my stepdad Bert when I was 5 years old, and he was a lot younger than my mom. And anyhow, so things were good, for a little bit with Bert. It was okay, you know, but they would drink a lot together, and with that caused a lot of arguments, and eventually caused my mom being abused by Bert. She would get hit by him and pushed against the wall. And then one incident, he bashed her head against the table and busted her head open, where my brother Brian, at the age of 15, had to drive us to the hospital to, drive her to the hospital with us girls in the back with no license. And one time we rode in the ambulance with our mother, wondering what's going on. I remember getting my foot caught in the telephone at the hospital and making the phone fall, when we were riding in there. And anyhow, I have two brothers. I got Brian and Sean White, and a sister, Missy Harris. And they're all older than me. I'm the baby of the family. And anyways, so we went through that abuse for a little while, and there was an incident where my sister was with her friends outside, and somehow she was misbehaving, and she came in the house, and my stepfather threw her against the wall. She was 11 at the time, and my mom saw it, and she wasn't going to have it anymore. She noticed that he was finally going to target out at us girls, and she decided, it's time for me to leave with the help of other people. And so we moved into the Horn Lake Villa apartments. And we had a little 2-bedroom apartment with our mom, and she's a single mom, and we got on welfare. And I remember walking to the store down the road with my food stamp papers to go get some milk. And money was tight, living off of child support from my dad. And so anyways, we were just all trying to make it. I was trying to help mom and, just clean up the house and being a good kid. And my sister fell into the wrong crowd. Eventually, my sister fell into the wrong crowd and started, messing with alcohol and little drugs. And, we met finally, my mom decided to date, I guess. And she met Buddy at the apartments. He had an apartment across the road from us, or across the way from us. A little 1-bedroom. And, a godsend he is. We were trying to get out of a abusive situation with our mom. And, here comes Buddy. The laughter of the crowd, the love of the crowd, the joy of the crowd, of everybody. Everybody knew Buddy in the apartments. No doubt about that. He was louder, but he was fun. Buddy was fun. We played cards. I remember playing cards with mom and dad and a whole bunch of other people. And we loved the apartment. We did. It had a lot of humbleness to it, with our soon-to-be new stepfather, Buddy. And money got better. He was working his butt off. Dad always worked his butt off. He just kept on and kept on going, the strength he had. And we moved into our new house, which, we were grateful for. They finally, new house time. And, everything was getting good. Money was getting better, and, everything just started getting good. And, I was going to school, and Missy had a few spells where she got into the wrong crowd again. And we had to put her in a treatment center for a little while. And we were always trying to take care of, Missy and what was going on with Missy a lot. But I love her to death. But Missy was, she was in a spiral for a little bit, and then she got pregnant at 16 and had the beautifulest little baby girl in the world, my Rebecca. And that was my baby. I took over right off. Me and Mom did. And that made me grow up really quickly, taking care of my Rebecca. I mean, that was my baby. That was my first baby. And I'm so grateful. And then I decided to get me a job at the Ryan Steakhouse, where I met my girl's daddy. And I'll try not to say his name, but names fly out of me, and I'm sorry if they do. But he was my first love, and first real love, and older love. And then I got pregnant at 19. I was still in school. I was still in high school, and I wanted to tell my baby girl. I found out it was a girl. I wanted to tell her, "Hey, Mom went down this aisle and graduated. You can do it too." So my grades were great, and me and my little girl, we were on our journey. And I eventually moved out with my boyfriend, probably to Horn Lake Villa sooner or later again. I was in the house, but it was so cheap that we moved into Horn Lake Villas ourselves. And, everything was okay, and I noticed, I can't admit, I'll just be, it cracked when I knew he cheated on me. He did. He cheated on me with a lady at the laundromat. And I was sick that day. I was dog sick with a fever, stuck on the couch. And he went off, and we joked about it. We called it the Soaps and Suds girl. And I mean, that's really funny. We just did. We joked about him cheating later. Not at the time. I was devastated at the time. Trust started going out the window. But with Patrick, it was like, I get upset with him, but I would go back to him, I met him at the Ryan Steakhouse. But anyways, I just kept on staying with Patrick, and we had our ups and downs, and then he started getting to where he started getting more controlling, and I wanted to go do things, and he didn't want me to, or I wanted to get a job, he'd tell me to quit because somebody might like me at the workplace or something, just real controlling. It started out with control. And I remember one incident too where I was pregnant with Marissa. This is where the abuse started, the physical abuse. I was pregnant with Marissa, and I threw her name out, so it flew out, but whatever. He tried to trip me as I was walking to my mom and dad's house. Why, I don't know. I guess he got upset with me, but I'm pregnant. He tried to trip me. Walking up there, I believe it was a Christmas party. And I was like, what's up with this? That's where it started. And then we went moving different places on and off. I don't want to carry this story on, too long. But we moved back and forth because he would lose jobs, or, we didn't have enough money, or he had to turn the power on with a fork outside with a little meter box. A freaking meter box. He used a fork to turn our power on. I have no idea how he did that. He knew how to improvise when we're poor. Then he put fans in our windows when our when our air conditioner, we didn't have one, so he put a fan in the window to get the fan going somehow from the charger thing on the in the battery in the car. He would have a cord from here to here, trying to turn power on. I didn't really get into it too much to see how he's doing things, but it was weird. But so we always try to keep some sort of roof. And he couldn't keep a job because he wanted to stay home to see what I was doing all day. And, whatever. But, then I got pregnant again, and there's my daughter, my other daughter. She's on her way. And he wasn't even present at the hospital with me with her. He was busy. He was supposed to be cleaning the house, but turns out he was doing something else. I don't know if he was sleeping or something, so I gave birth to her without him. I don't know what he was doing then. He always was absent on very important moments in my life, for some reason. But he probably was cheating within this period. But couldn't trust him. Trust went out the window. But, some physical abuse came in. It did. And we did some drinking, both of us. It wasn't just me. He liked to throw out I was the problem. But, and then that's how I try to numb things. And then some pills. And then with Patrick, oh well, I always try to help him. I always try to change him. And then I knew I couldn't do it no more. And there was an incident where we were living in a house that both of my daughters were there. I just had Andrea, and I needed formula. We were out off in the country. And I needed formula for Andrea. And I tried calling Patrick. I think the phone went dead. I don't know, something wasn't working. But he wouldn't bring formula for the baby. And I was like, man, please. And I wasn't breastfeeding or whatever. So I was just wondering about that. Why ain't he getting this formula for this baby? He was out working and probably had money. So I think that was the first time I left him. Like, really left him. And I stayed with some friends for a little bit. And then there was another incident where we were just back and forth. And then finally, the last straw was when he put a crowbar to my back. And was threatening me, some stuff, I'm going to kill you kind of deal, trying to put the fear in me and everything. And that was the last straw. And I went to the House of Grace. Somehow I figured out where I needed to go, and I went to the House of Grace Domestic Violence Shelter. Very great place. Strong women. I'm very grateful for the House of Grace. They got me on my feet. They got me a 2-bedroom apartment. I was working at the time, so it was easy to get the 2-bedroom apartment. And I did it myself, and I was happy. I could do this by myself. I didn't need anybody to try to control me and harass me and everything. And I even got a protection order on Patrick, and we went to court, and finally got my divorce, which my divorce was titled Cruel and Inhumane Treatment Divorce. And I got full custody of the girls, and life was good. Life was good. I was getting everything together, all myself, single mom. And my baby girls were doing good. They were happy. And I was taking care of them, spoiled, throughout. They're just so spoiled. But, anyways, I met somebody else. This name doesn't need anyways, I met somebody else, another boyfriend. And, he was he seemed like a good candidate for me. He didn't seem controlling and very open-minded and didn't put no rules or nothing. And he even paid the babysitter while we went out. And I just felt positive. So positive was coming from this. And then I was falling in love again and everything. And, we decided we had us a boy. Eventually I had a boy. I was, making my family grow. And everybody was good. And we kept on going. But me and him, we would drink some. I remember that. We would go through some drinking spells. But we didn't fight. Fighting wasn't that bad, So we got along pretty good. It's just, I think my addiction, I'll blame it on that. I think I started dabbling in the pills more, and my addiction started getting greater, and I was hiding it. I was hiding it from him. I was hiding it from everybody. Everybody saw it. And, and that's what caused the downbreak on that situation with him. That's what caused the downfall. And, but we have some beautiful kids. And, eventually I had to let that go for the both of us so we can both get better. Yeah. So I'll just end that relationship with that. And we had 2 boys and a girl. And, and I get to see them every other weekend right now. But, I can tell more about that, on my other parts. I'm just not saying any names, but I'll tell about why I only see them every other weekend. I can if I choose to. But, anyways, so, but I'm going to do a part 2. And, you know, oh Lord, there's a lot to think about. But yeah, I mean, I've my life has been up and down, and I'm to the point where my life is great right now. You know, I'm at the greatness right now. I feel like close to it, and you know, okay, well, I'll dig into addiction. Um, I was an addict for 10 years, and my addiction was opiate pills and you know, alcohol, anything I can get. And I was an addict for 10 years. So when I was with boyfriend number two, uh, that's when my addiction went to a spiral. And then I moved in with my parents after boyfriend number two and went somewhere for a little while. I moved in with my parents, and then I had to put three of my kids in a children's home. And my addiction went, phew, it went crazy. And I was getting pills from my mother. I was trying to find pills, everything. So I had to go to treatment. And how I got to treatment was I was talking to my brother, Brian. And my brother committed suicide in when Tony was born, so it was 2011 or 2012. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken any of the years. But he committed suicide on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And I realized that I need to get my stuff together. My mom and my dad are grieving over my brother, and they love me dearly. I'm living in their house. I got a baby with me. My other two are in a children's home. It's time to get off my pity party and go get help now. So what happened is I got them upset because I put my mom's Phenadol patch on, and she knew about it, and she caught me, and she told me I needed to go figure out what I need to do. And so I did. No blame on Mom. I'm glad she did, because that's where my recovery started. And it was probably 2000 and, let's see, Brian, 2013, Tony. Okay, it was like 2013 or so when my journey started great. I was withdrawing from the Phenadol, and I told the lady at the House of Grace, because I had to go back to the House of Grace again. And I was telling the lady that, you know, hey, I'm withdrawing, and I had a baby with me, so we had to figure out what to do with the baby, which we placed him with his brother and sister at the House of Grace. I mean, not the House of Grace, but the children's home. And my other two girls were with their grandma. So my kids are being placed in places while I'm trying to get my recovery going. And so I went to detox at the Delta Center, and you know, and I started withdrawing and stuff. My blood pressure was high when I was detoxing. It was almost stroke level. It was so bad. And, you know, I started coming out of my abyss of hell and waking up. And I realized there's light here. There's hope. And then I was like, you know, I'm gonna get off, and I'm gonna take care of this. I got these babies that want me, need me, and I got to do this now. No turning back. So I detoxed for a little while, and then I went to treatment center, Serenity Recovery Treatment Center. The best place in the world. I refer it to anybody. Hard treatment, but great. And what happened is I saw God in there. And when I say saw God, I saw hope, I saw love, I saw peace. And I just knew I could do it. I did, with strength. So that's where the recovery journey starts. And then I got told, you know, the 30 days I did the completion, and I graduated. And then I heard 90 days in the AA meeting, you know, 90 days of recovery, however you say it. But I knew I needed to keep my recovery going. Go. You know, don't stop it. You don't stop it. You never stop it. You know. So I did the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. I think I did the month, and then I did the 90 days. I kept on going every day to the AA center or the meetings. And it's God. I learned about God, my higher power, and the love I have for a higher power when nobody was around. And nobody was around because I done damaged some people in this process. So, the only thing I had to do was, get on my feet and start, realizing small things are important. And large things are important, like your children. And put God first, put being sober first, and then put God first. And I knew that, this journey it's going to be tough, but I'm able to do it. And I kept on doing it. And I didn't want to feel sick like I was feeling sick before when I was detoxing. I felt feverish. I felt feverish, and I felt like I could just, I don't know, it was awful. And if I go back to that feeling, it seems to help me. And so there's going to be a part 2 to this, but I'm so grateful to be here, and I like to share with y'all my journey of recovery and my journey of getting my kids back. Never thought I could, but I did. And my journey with the Lord. And it's so great right there. That's like the freaking, the ice cream of it all. Getting to know God closer and seeing things a little different. And, it's just so humble and peaceful to just feel like you can get out of the crap hole into a very grateful hole of the small things you wake up to every morning. And anyhow, and I want to tell stories about my parents. It's so hard to remember all this. It's going to take a lot of time. But they were so cool. My mom and dad were the coolest people in the world. And I love to share to the world how cool they are. I like to share to the world how I got out of a hole and climbed out. And, and just, it's good for people to talk, and I didn't talk. I never talked to anybody through this. I was always quiet. I didn't think I was important. But now I know I am. I know I'm important for my kids. I know I'm important for my husband now. It's just, and I know God knows I'm important too. So, part 2 to this, it's only going to get better, y'all. I've redid this video a few times, and I'm hoping for the best. I don't keep on having to redo stuff. And I'm hoping this video's, good. But I don't want to make it too long and dwell through, because I want everybody to hear what I have to say. I don't want to, linger on or nothing like that. I want to have some brief shortness to it, too, for people. Because I know I've watched videos that keep on going and going and going, and you're like, man, can you just be quiet? But anyhow, I want y'all to get to know me and my family. And, just everything that's going on. And, God bless everybody. And just stay tuned to the next video. And like and subscribe or whatever you got to do, or just put me on your like videos or whatever. Anyways, God bless and bye and love y'all.